All right, Dalton, our number 3 safety in college football is one of your guys, man, and one of my guys too, but you love him. It is Dillon Thieneman out of Purdue. True freshman last year, Dalton. So what made him so amazing as a true freshman that he's already a top 3 safety in the country heading into his sophomore year?
Max, I'm going to be ranting about this guy for the next 2 years because he's as fun as any player to watch in the country, all right? An 89.5 overall grade that led the nation. Max, that was the 3rd best ever by a true freshman safety behind Jordan Whitehead and Derwin James. And those are 2 obviously really good names, but he's the best single high safety in the country right now, okay? Purdue played the 2nd most cover 1 in the nation last year behind Illinois. He was the guy standing back there at 20 to 25 yards pre-snap who just had to read the quarterback and find the football, and his range is off the charts. 100 PFF game athleticism score. He broke the scale. He broke it. And he's got that. It shows in his range. He's got legit. They talk about, he's got sideline to sideline range. No, seriously. You could throw the ball to a coach on the sidelines, and he would get to it and pick it off. I'm telling you, his range is better than 80% of NFL safeties right now. I guarantee it. He's that good. And then you put him in the box here and there. You let him blitz. Get a 90.2 run defense grade that was 5th best in the country. 6 interceptions. He's the whole package. Speed, aggressiveness, ball skills, everything you want in a free safety. Literally everything. As a true freshman, when you're talking about anything about in PFF stuff about Derwin James, you're an elite company. Yeah. And Dillon Thieneman at Purdue, I don't know what Purdue's year is going to look like or what they're going to look like offensively, or they lost Nick Scorton and all that. Dillon Thieneman is an absolute monster. If you're not paying attention to him sometime in the next year and a half, you're missing out.
Dawn, I hate to admit this, and I never will admit this again. This is one time the recruiting rankings got it wrong. They got it wrong. I will say, because I love the 5 stars, don't get me wrong, but this guy, get this, you're gonna hate this, and this is just furthers your belief that the recruiting rankings, you don't care about them, because he was the number 954 player coming out of high school, the number 89 safety coming out of high school.
I don't think there are 20. I don't think right now there are. I don't think there are 20 players in college football better than this guy.
No,
he is. I actually thought about on my side of this list putting him number 1.
He's not even Dalton. He's not even the most. He's not even the number 89 safety in football, NFL or college right now. I think he's much higher than that.
He would start in the NFL right this minute. if Dan Quinn had this guy, he would start him at free safety right now and feel like he had Earl Thomas back there. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Dude, and recruiting rankings are based off athleticism mostly, and it's almost like, dude, this guy's a 100 percentile athlete last year. What do we miss with this guy? You mentioned it, 21.4 miles an hour on the GPS tracking. That is stupid fast for a player like him. And yeah, man, he just had. You mentioned the overall grade was fantastic. 90.2 run defense grade, tied for 2nd in the country with 6 interceptions. Only allowed 5 catches too, so he caught the ball more than he allowed catches last year. I know everyone's going to be talking about Caleb Downs and how special he is and how Caleb Downs is easily the best sophomore safety in the country. Yeah, he is the best sophomore safety in the country. We'll talk about him in a future video. But remove that word easily, because Dillon Thieneman is right on his heels, man. The Big Ten is in a great spot for safeties in 2025 college football season 2. And both those guys are absolute freaking superstars. And Downs we kind of knew, because Downs was one of the highest rated safeties we've ever seen come out of high school. Thieneman came out of nowhere, man, and was a superstar for Purdue's defense this past year. What can Thieneman get better at, Dawn, to maybe catch up to Downs and become the number 1 safety in the country on next year's list?
The only thing I have was, so when you look at 16 missed tackles last year, and as a percentage of how much he played, actually that's not that bad. I think the percentage was maybe around 12 or 13. It's just about angles. He's so fast and he's so aggressive that sometimes he'll cut an angle a little bit short, especially just a pursuit angle and tackling angle sort of thing. Once in a while, too, in coverage, but not too often. So you just have probably a dozen plays in his tape last year, which in total isn't very many, where it's just kind of a little bit too aggressive of an angle, whether it be tackling or getting to a receiver at the catch point. But otherwise, man, there's not a whole lot. And that's what's impressive, too, is the down-to-down consistency on about 95 to 96% of plays is off the charts, man. That would be the only thing for me, is just sometimes throttling down from that blazing speed. and making a more sound tackle. But even then, I would call him an average tackler right now, not a horrible one by any means. Just that's the only thing. It's just here and there, maybe go from like 100 miles an hour to 90 and just clean up the tackling a little bit. But as far as the talent and everything you could want in a free safety, he's got it all.
Dude, that's a really good problem to have, because I can tell you right now, it's a lot easier to go from 100 to 90 than it is to go from 90 to 100. So I think that's a great problem to have for Dillon Thieneman. You mentioned the tackling. And yeah, you mentioned the average. He's right at average. He's a 53rd percentile missed tackle rate last year at 12.5%. And again, this guy was, at his senior prom just a couple months earlier, before the start of the season too. So like, this is a guy who's just starting his college football career too. So yeah, Dillon Thieneman, man, got unbelievable athleticism to go along with an all-around game as a run defender and in coverage, man. He is a true superstar. And again, he is right on the heels of our top 2 guys on this list that we're going to get to in another video coming out very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss these videos, as well as we continue to preview the 2024 college football season.